My girlfriend, the one I spent thousands on over the last 2 years, suddenly stood up in front of a birthday party of 30 people, burst into tears, and screamed, "You're cheating on me." Everyone knows it. Everyone turned to stare at me. Her sister was smiling. I quietly took out my phone, turned on the speaker, and pressed play. And the next 60 seconds of audio completely flipped her entire life upside down. My name is Kyle. I'm 29, and until about 3 hours ago, I was engaged to a woman I'll call Sophia. We'd been together for just over 2 years, and honestly, I thought we had something real. I'm not rich, but I'm stable. I work in project management for a software company. I make decent money, nothing crazy, but enough that I could be generous. And I was. With Elle, I was stupid generous. Looking back now, I can see all the signs I missed. The constant demands for expensive dinners. The way she'd get upset if I didn't buy her something new every few weeks. The shopping trips that turned into arguments if I mentioned our savings goals. But I loved her, or at least I thought I did. She was beautiful, charming, and when things were good, they were really good. We met at a work conference. She was working for a marketing firm back then, though she quit that job about 8 months ago. She said she was burned out, needed a break. I supported it. I paid for most of our apartment, her car payment, her insurance. Everything. Sophia'd talk about starting her own consulting business, but nothing ever materialized. I didn't push it. I just paid. The cracks started showing about 4 months ago. Nothing obvious at first. She started staying late at the gym on Tuesday and Thursday nights. She'd come home tired, shower immediately, and go to bed. Then she'd be on her phone constantly, texting in the bathroom, deleting messages quickly when I walked by. I asked her about it once. She laughed it off and said I was being paranoid. "You're so clingy sometimes," she told me one night in March, and the way she said it made me feel small. Like I was being unreasonable for noticing my fiancé was pulling away. But I let it go. That was my mistake. In May, I was working from home on a Friday. Sophia thought I was at the office. We'd been together long enough that she didn't double-check my calendar. She got a call around 2 p.m. I heard her from the bedroom. "Hey, baby." "Yeah, I can talk." "No, he's at work. We can do tomorrow night. He's got that thing with his brother." I froze. "Baby?" The voice on the other end was male. Deep. Laughing. My hands were shaking when I walked to the bedroom doorway. She saw me, and the color drained from her face. She hung up immediately. "That was just Ryan," she said, and her voice had this edge of panic. "From the gym." We're planning a group fitness thing." Ryan from the gym. I'd never heard of Ryan. I didn't confront her. I should have, but I didn't. Instead, I did something I'm not particularly proud of. I contacted a friend who works in IT, and he helped me set up a voice recorder on her phone. I told myself it was just to confirm what I already knew, to get proof so I'd know I wasn't crazy. It took 3 days before it captured anything relevant. That's how I got the audio. It was a 20-minute call from Sophia to her sister, who I'll call Kay. They were discussing me. Discussing how to handle me. "He's so easy," Sophia was saying, laughing. "Like, genuinely easy. He just gives me whatever I want. I don't even have to ask sometimes. He just throws money at me to make me happy." "Are you going to tell him about Ryan?" Kay asked. Her voice was calm, calculated. "Eventually. Or maybe I'll just leave. I don't know. But I'm not staying with Kyle long term. He's boring, and honestly, now that I know what good sex is supposed to feel like, I can't go back. Ryan's actually ambitious too. He's got his own business." The rest was them laughing about how I paid for everything. How I'd mentioned wanting to propose by the end of the year. How it was adorable that I thought we had a future. I listened to that audio 17 times over the next week. I couldn't stop. Each time felt like getting hit all over again. But I didn't say anything. Update 1. I started planning. I know that sounds cold, but I was thinking clearly for the first time in months. I wasn't angry in that explosive way. I was something worse. I was methodical. Sophia's birthday party was scheduled for Saturday, 2 weeks after I found that audio. Her friends and family were all going to be there. Her sister Kay, her parents, her college friends, everyone. She'd been talking about it for weeks. Already had her outfit planned. A new dress she made me buy her from that boutique downtown. $300. I spent those 2 weeks acting normal. Going to work, coming home, kissing her goodnight. We even had sex twice, which felt surreal. The whole time, I was just waiting. Not angry. Not sad. Just waiting. I didn't do anything confrontational during those 2 weeks. I wasn't going to destroy her at the dinner table or in a private argument. That wasn't the point. The point was that everyone needed to know what kind of person she really was. Everyone who'd watched us together, who'd complimented our relationship, who'd believed we were this perfect couple. They needed to know. I also wasn't going to let her fabricate a narrative where she was the victim. And looking back at that party invitation, I realized something. She'd probably planned to do it. She'd probably planned to manufacture this moment where she could play the wounded girlfriend, and I'd look like the bad guy. That's what someone like Sophia would do. The weekend of the party arrived. We got ready at our apartment. She looked beautiful, I'll give her that. A black dress, hair done perfectly, makeup flawless. She was giddy, excited about seeing everyone. She kept checking herself in the mirror, asking if she looked okay. You look great, I told her, and I meant it. She did look great. She just wasn't a great person. The restaurant was some upscale Italian place her mom had picked. We arrived around 7 p.m. The table was already crowded. Her family, her friends from college, some people I only vaguely knew. I got a lot of hugs, congratulations on the engagement, the usual pleasantries. Her dad pulled me aside to tell me how happy he was that she'd found someone so thoughtful and supportive. It took everything in me not to laugh. We sat down. Appetizers came out. Wine was poured. Everyone was happy. And then, about 40 minutes in, Sophia excused herself to the bathroom. When she came back, she'd clearly been on her phone. Her jaw was clenched. She kept looking at me, then away. Then, suddenly, without any preamble, she stood up. I can't do this anymore, she said, her voice shaking. The entire table went quiet. I can't sit here and pretend. Everyone thinks Kyle is this perfect guy, but he's not. He's been cheating on me. For months. And I'm tired of lying about it. The restaurant fell silent. Heads were turning. Her mom reached out, asking what she was talking about. Her dad looked at me like I'd personally betrayed him. That's not true, I said simply. I wasn't going to yell. I wasn't going to get defensive or angry. I was just going to let the audio speak. It's not true, she laughed, but it was an ugly laugh. Everyone knows it. Don't lie in front of my family. That's when I took out my phone. It was sitting on the table. I unlocked it, opened my voice memos, and pressed play. The audio filled the restaurant. Not loud, but loud enough. Sophia's voice, unmistakable. He's so easy. He just gives me whatever I want. I can't go back. Ryan's actually ambitious too. He's got his own business. He's boring, adorable that I thought we had a future. Then her sister's voice, laughing along. I watched it happen in real time. Sophia's face went white, then red, then this weird shade of purple. Her mom's hand came up to cover her mouth. Her dad looked at me, then at her, confusion completely taking over his features. What is this? Kay said, standing up. That's out of context. That's a phone call from 2 weeks ago, I said calmly. Sophia calling to talk about how she's planning to leave me, how I'm financing her life, and how she's been cheating with someone named Ryan. The table absolutely erupted. Her mom started crying. Her dad was asking what was going on. Her friends looked shocked and embarrassed. Elle tried to stand, tried to say something, but nothing came out. She just made this strangled noise. I stood up, grabbed my jacket, and left. Update 2: She followed me into the parking lot. I could hear her heels clicking frantically on the pavement. Kyle, wait. That's not. You can't just. You recorded me without permission? That's illegal. I turned around. She was crying now, but something about it felt performative. You're right, I said. It probably is. You can sue me if you want. But everyone who matters to you just heard you say those things. And everyone here knows they're true. You humiliated me, she said, her voice getting higher. I didn't humiliate you. You humiliated yourself. You just did it publicly instead of privately. You're welcome. She grabbed my arm. We can fix this. I was stressed, and I said horrible things I didn't mean. I don't even really like Ryan like that. It was just what, Elle? Just an affair? Just lies? Just financial manipulation? She didn't have an answer. She just stood there, rain starting to fall, mascara running down her face. We're done, I said. I'll give you until the end of the month to find a new place. I'm not going to fight you on it. You can take whatever you want. But we're done. I drove home alone and sat in my apartment for hours, just staring at the wall. Update 3: The aftermath was a bizarre mix of awful and oddly satisfying. Her friends texted me asking what happened. Her parents called multiple times, wanting to understand. Her mom apologized profusely, as if she were somehow responsible. Her dad didn't call, but I heard through the grapevine that he'd essentially disowned Elle temporarily. But here's the thing nobody tells you about revenge. It feels good for about 5 minutes, and then it just feels empty. Elle moved out in 2 weeks. She had her lawyers send me a message about some of the money I'd spent on her over the relationship, but honestly, at that point, I didn't care. I was done with lawyers and negotiations. I just wanted her gone. She went to stay with her friend Nicole first, then apparently moved in with Ryan for a while before they broke up. Kay tried to call me multiple times to explain her role and everything. I didn't answer. I don't know if she was being complicit or just caught in the middle, and honestly, I didn't care enough to find out. I found out later that Elle had told people I tricked her, that she'd said those things under emotional duress. But the people who mattered knew the truth. Her own family knew. Her friends knew. She could spin whatever narrative she wanted, but it didn't stick because the evidence was right there. The weird part? I don't feel vindicated. I feel tired. I spent 2 years, pouring money and time and genuine affection into someone who was laughing at me behind my back. And the victory of exposing her in front of 30 people didn't change that. It didn't give me back that time or that money. It didn't undo the embarrassment of having been that blind. Would I do it again? I don't know. Part of me thinks I should have just quietly ended it and moved on. Part of me thinks she deserved public humiliation. Mostly, I think I wasted a lot of energy on someone who was never going to be worth it. The apartment is quiet now. I've been seeing someone new. Actually, someone I met through my brother. It's early, but it's different. She doesn't ask for anything. She doesn't need to be constantly reassured or bought. We just exist together, and it's peaceful. As for Elle, the last I heard she was back in the dating world, apparently telling people she's looking for something real. I almost felt bad for whoever she's pursuing. Almost. Edit 1. A few people have asked if I regret recording her without permission. Honestly, legal ramifications aside, I do regret it a little. Not because I'm worried about the legality, but because it meant I was already in the mindset of deception by the time the party happened. I should have just confronted her directly and ended it. The recording gave me power, but it also made me somebody I didn't want to be. That said, I don't regret her finding out the way she did. She was going to blow up my life anyway. At least this way, she did it in front of witnesses.